Before I get you guys to ask questions, I'd like to thank Billy, Tanner and Sarah for taking time away outside of work to be here today. For those who haven't met Billy, if you can stand up for me please. Billy runs the 9:30 class as well as the live class. And he's not the best looking guy, but he does all right. We've got Tanner. Tanner runs the 6 a.m. class. He also runs Homebush, and he runs the 7:40 class. He's not the best looking guy either, but Sarah's the best looking guy in the office. So thank you, Sarah, for coming along. Well done. So I'd like to thank them. I'd also like to thank Harrison for coming along and videoing tonight, and also like to thank Sammy as well. So before I get Sammy to come along and finish his presentation, what questions you guys would like to ask, start throwing them at me. If it's something that's going to require extended response, I'll see you right at the end. Yep.
As an athlete, how many calories a day would you be taking?
Okay, good question. As an athlete, how many calories should I be taking? I can tell you that's going to depend on the type of athlete that you are. I can tell you that most marathon runners would be consuming about 4,000 to 5,000 calories per day. But they're burning 4,000 to 5,000 calories per day in their running. Somebody like a bodybuilder doesn't really have to consume lots of calories. You don't really burn lots of calories while you're weightlifting, but they're going to still be consuming 2,000 to 3,000 calories as a minimum. The heavy bodybuilders will be consuming 3,000, 4,000, and 5,000 calories as well. And we're talking about people that are training 3-4 hours per day. A rugby league player or a soccer player or a netballer, these guys would roughly be burning, cover about 9 to 10 kilometres, perhaps not netballer, but definitely the outdoor group, the rugby league, the AFL Rugby Union, between 8 to 11 kilometres depending on their position. So most of these guys will be consuming 3,000 to 4,000 calories per day. So to answer your question, I really need to understand the type of athlete that you are, and also keep in mind that the younger you are as an athlete, the more calories you're going to end up burning anyway, because you naturally have a faster metabolism. All right? Anyone else? Yes?
Can I just clarify something? So long as you're having smaller meals at night, can you still have carbs, like rice with meat or something like that?
I would prefer most carbohydrate meals happen up until lunchtime. But if you're going to have a little bit of rice of an evening, I can assure you that having a little bit of rice of an evening isn't going to send you from being underweight to being overweight. Okay? It's not recommended purely because you're not going to burn those extra calories that come in, that energy that comes in with the rice. But if you're only having small amounts, then it's safe to do so, but it's better to have it at lunchtime. So what I encourage a lot of the clients that have things like vegetable stir fry is to have what they made for dinner at lunchtime. So have it the next day for lunch. So you're not missing out on the food, but you're sort of kind of having it in the morning and at lunchtime. And the reason why, guys, is a lot of people tend to eat backwards. So they don't eat most of the day, and at dinner time they eat so much food to make up for all the food they haven't eaten, whereas really should be eating forward. You eat enough food at lunchtime to get you to dinner, and you eat enough food at dinner just to get you to go to bed. If you can encourage yourself to eat forward, you don't really want to be taking in high energy foods of an evening, because you don't really burn too much after 7 or 8 o'clock. Anyone else?
Should you be going to bed hungry?
You shouldn't really be going to bed hungry. No. And if you're going to bed hungry, then you probably haven't eaten enough food throughout the course of the day, because if you're generally having dinner at 5:30 and 6 o'clock and going to bed about 10, if you're having something at dinner, there should be enough energy that you have at dinner that's going to sustain you for the next 2 or 3 hours. If not, then most of the food that you're having at dinner is just replacing what you haven't eaten throughout the course of the day. So if that's the case, I would probably increase the amount of food that I'm eating for breakfast, my morning snack, my lunch, and my afternoon snack, and then see if that works. But I would discourage going to bed hungry. One of the ways in which you can try and avoid that is to have some of the low-calorie foods, like those negative calorie foods that we're talking about. So the cucumbers and things like lettuce, having a glass of water with that as well, will give you that full feeling for a little bit longer. Anyone else?
Yes. I always found that milk, cheese and meat, how come it's highly recommended to children and younger people especially?
Only because of the bone growth and the calcium growth. So they require lots of calcium, so it's really good for bone growth. That's why skim milk isn't really recommended for children. So we encourage them to have the full cream, full cheese, purely because they're still at the growing stage. Yes?
Green tea, that's good for you.
Very good.
Yeah? And with like doesn't matter.
2 to 3 cups a day is fine.
Yeah?
Yeah. Once you hit 7 and 8, you're overdoing it. All Anyone else? All right. The last thing I'm going to say to you before I pass you on to Sammy is that when it comes to your eating, guys, please don't eat the right foods because you want to lose body fat. That's one reason why. But the problem with eating the right foods just to lose some body fat is that once you get down to your ideal weight, the old habits start to kick in again. You've got to understand that eating healthy should be something that you should be doing for the rest of your life. And your children will always eat the way that you eat. And you can't say to them you shouldn't be drinking Coke because it's bad. You give them water and then you're drinking Coke. Or you say to them, oh look, you shouldn't really be eating chips because it's really bad for you. They get up, once you send them to bed at 7 o'clock, they get up at 9:30 and they see you with a pack of chips in front of the TV. You need to live and breathe the same way and eat the right foods the same way in which you'd encourage your children to eat. So if it's not good enough for your children, it really shouldn't be good enough for you. And more often than not, we just get really lazy with our food preparation. That's all it really is. We get a little bit lazy with our food preparation. It's really easy just to dial a friend and ring up Pizza Hut and get them to deliver a pizza than what it is to sit down and make a stir fry. It's a lot cheaper to go to McDonald's or go to some of these fast food places and get a family feast for $25 than what it is to go to the grocery store, pick up some fish, make some vegetables, cook the fish, cook the vegetables, get rid of the odour in the house, clean up the frying pan. I know. But ultimately, we're really talking about your health here. We're not talking about, oh, do I buy a Toyota or a BMW? We're not talking about cars here. We're talking about your health. We're talking about your livelihood. We're talking about your quality of life. And I hope you guys can see from today's seminar that really Tanner and myself are really committed to giving you guys decent results, but not just for fat loss. This is about education for life thing. And food and exercise should be something that you do for the rest of your life. You're all not going to be training with me forever. But as long as you make it a permanent part of what you do, and not just to lose weight, you guys will increase your life expectancy. Our current life expectancy for males is about 74.1, and that's gone up by a couple of years, and females are about 80, 80.1. I can tell you that those people from the Middle East and those that are Aboriginal have a lot less life expectancy. Most people in the Middle Eastern region are about 10 years less their life expectancy. And most Aboriginals are sitting at about 55 to 60. So we're talking about 14 or 15 years less. And more often than not, it's just a lifestyle thing. It's food choices and decision to exercise. They're mainly the two big ones. Okay? So thank you very much for your time. If you guys need to ask me personal questions, it's ray@rushalmond.net.au. Send me an email, give the office a call. If I'm not there, Sarah will take your call and I will call you back and I'll answer your personal questions. Outside that, thank you for your time, guys, and I'll pass you over to Sam.
First of all, I just want to start off. I've been to a lot of these seminars, even like professional seminars that have a lot to do with diet, nutrition. And I'll be honest with you, a seminar like this tonight, I expect to pay like around $300 to $400 to just go sit and get all this information. So the job that Ray's done has been absolutely fantastic. So this is something that you guys get. It's like gold in your hands. So really use it. It's brilliant. Except the fact that he always does it. Zucchinis, cucumbers and tomatoes are fruits, they're not vegetables. So, forget that bit.
I'll change it.
Anyway, there were some questions before that I couldn't answer, so I have to answer them now. Some people had their hands up. Yep.
Where are you located?
Grove Street, Parramatta, not far from the Leagues Club. That's an easy one. Any other questions? I think there was did you have a question at the back yet?
I'm flat-footed. If I was to get orthotics, how many years would it take for it to be the problem to be fixed, and how old would I have to be? Like, how old would I be until?
You shouldn't really put orthotics on anyone that's under the age of about 5 or 6 years old, just because the arms aren't really formed yet. So you got to give them a bit of time, unless there's some kind of orthopedic problem with the joints. But anything above that age is fine. Okay. Arches don't really fix. We put orthotics in there. A little bit of an explanation. You've got a little bone in your foot called the navicular. The navicular bone is it's a keystone. So if you remember a bridge, okay, and holding the bridge together is like a little keystone like this, okay, and that's what the navicular acts like. As soon as that navicular drops, the bridge collapses. You kind of can't build it back up again. A lot of ladies will find this, that when they start having kids and they fall pregnant, their muscles and the ligaments tend to relax. And the ligaments in their feet relax, and their navicular will drop, and they'll actually develop flat feet from pregnancy. So to answer your question, you really can't refix it. So when we put the orthotic in, it's I wouldn't say it's 100% permanent, but it's something that you should be wearing. And it's something, if you ask Billy, I'm wearing them now. I don't even notice I'm wearing them. Billy probably won't notice that he's wearing them anymore. It's something that you put. Most orthotics, when they're made, will last you roughly between 18 months to 2 years, depending on how often you use them and how much you train. Does that answer your question? Yeah? Any other questions?
I can tell you from my end, most of the clients come and talk to me about lower back pain, and that's probably the most common question I get asked. Oh, I've got a sore back, what should I do about it?
It's actually classified as a disease now, lower back pain. It's like the second most cause of people being unable to go to work and unable to get out of bed. So it's a pretty big thing. Sorry.
It's okay. So with the lower back pain, guys, to answer the question, I need you to understand that there's so many joints and so many muscles and ligaments and tendons that wrap around that hip at the posterior side, which is the back side, and the anterior side. So lower back pain, there's a number of factors that can cause lower back pain. Now, going and just getting a nice relaxation massage where they turn on some nice music, put on some nice candles, and some beautiful lady massaging you, isn't going to solve the problem. So when some people say to me, oh Ray, I've gone and got a massage and it still doesn't fix the problem, the type of massage you do has a very big impact on getting results. And then more often than not, it may not be a soft tissue massage. You may require some type of manipulation, whether it be of the hip or whether it be the sacroiliac joint, whatever it may be. That's the sort of stuff that Sammy's team do. It's not just soft tissue work. It's soft tissue work as well as the manipulation. And that's why I really like the whole manipulation aspect, is that I get treatment on a regular basis, and more often than not, I don't get this soft tissue all the time. It doesn't always solve my problems. Now, I don't see Sammy all the time. More often than not, I get treatments done and remedial massage solves my problems. When the remedial massage doesn't solve my problem, that's when I require manipulation. So if you have any inherent back problems and you've been getting treatments done all the time, that's not solving the problem, and you've been there 15 and 20 times and you're getting the soft tissue work done, then it may mean that you may require some manipulation as well. Okay, so I need you to keep that in mind. It's not just muscle, it's just not manipulation. More often than not, it's a combination of both. Okay? Is there any other questions that you guys need to ask Sammy? All right. Good luck with training, guys. Friday, week 6, we've got a harbour cruise on. Keep it free. We're going to go out and have a good time. And sometimes we throw some of the things that we learnt today out of the window for an hour or two. All right? Get home safely, guys. Good luck with training.